How would I describe Poughkeepsie Gulch Trail in the beautiful San Juan Mountains of Colorado? I'd start with amazing cliff views, beautiful waterfalls, fun rock obstacles, and meadows blanketed with gorgeous wildflowers. And did I mention rock obstacles? And you can't leave out absolutely stunning mountaintop views, jagged peaks, mountain rivers, mountain streams, and a gorgeous, bright blue mountain lake. And did I mention rock obstacles? This is Poughkeepsie Gulch, and this is a must-do trail if you're in the San Juan Mountains. Look at the scenery. This is the road just going to the trailhead of Poughkeepsie Gulch. Coming out of Ouray, I'm going to be turning left on what's called the Alpine Loop. You go through Mineral Creek first, and then it'll split off, and we can go two directions. We could either head up to Engineer Pass, or we could take Poughkeepsie Gulch, and today it's Poughkeepsie Gulch. When you're staring that mountain right in the face, you know we're getting ready to come to the portion we'll be turning off right in this corner up here. There'll be a sign saying Engineer Pass, and there'll be a sign saying Alpine Loop, and that's where we want to turn to hit this trail. And you can see right up there, you see a sign that says Ouray County Road 18. There's an arrow pointing to the left. When you see that, you're getting ready to take the left here. There's a little brown sign on the right that says Alpine Loop. There's a big blue sign covered up by this black pickup truck right now. You can't really see that sign very well, but it's a big blue sign that says Alpine Loop. And this is the start. Starts off rocky. I'm gonna go to four-wheel drive here. Disconnect our sway bar, and away we go. This is the very beginning of the trail. This is the Mineral Creek section right off the highway, right off of 550, the $1 Million Highway coming out of Ouray. And it's just spectacular. You get to drive up this trail, and as we get a little bit closer, you'll see there'll be a couple of small switchbacks that lead you into the most amazing canyon. Look at what you get to drive through. Look at this little river over to the right of the road. There's a turnoff right up here, and I love stopping at that, and every time if it's not too busy I try and stop there and just take in the scenery right here. For me, driving through here, it just stirs up so much inside of me. There's this cool intensity of driving along a cliff shelf road like this. And then look at the rocks, look at the colors, look at the textures, just driving through this. It's so hard to put into words. It just brings out so many feelings in me. Just so intensely exciting, just overwhelming. Just being able to look at all this stuff. And check out these cliffs. You're riding right on the edge of a cliff. And then when you look up, if you look out, you're seeing what's on the other side of the cliff. And then as you're driving past these rocks, when the sun is hitting this just right, and it's really not a bright sunny day that you want. This was a somewhat cloudy day, and the lighting that was there on this day just brought out the colors of everything you're driving through. All the greens around you, the tans, the reds, the oranges, the whites, all the different tones in the rock. And each color seems to bring out another shape. And when I get a chance, when there's not too much traffic, there's a little overhang right there. If I get a chance to stop, I stop and I take it in. And you guys, it is just such a gift. This trail is just so scenic. It literally just can't be put into words. I just kind of use the same words over and over, like awesome, breathtaking, scenic, because I run out of words. Even putting this video together and watching these clips right now, it brings me right back to just like I was right there. And I can tell you, when I'm driving through this stuff, when I'm looking at these mountains, oh, you guys, it is so overwhelming. The beauty, the majesty, just the gift of being able to drive through this place. It's literally undescribable. It's just mind-blowing. And then you get the bonus of being able to see the wildlife that's around you. On this particular drive, there was a deer right over there by the river. And then you always get to see these little guys. These are called marmots. And a lot of the locals call them whistle pigs because of this noise that they make right here. And as you keep driving up the trail, especially on a slow day, it's just so easy to enjoy. It's so easy to be so laid back coming through here. It's so relaxing, and at the same time, it's so fun. It's so hard to describe. Now, this is a two-way road, so people going up to Engineer or Poughkeepsie Gulch, or there's a bunch of different passes that end up coming into this road. So there's people going up and there's people coming down, and a lot of times you have traffic, and some spots are pretty tricky to get multiple vehicles going by. But I've never had a problem, never once felt unsafe. Even out on some of the cliff edges, there's still sometimes someone has to back up or someone has to move forward or whatever, but
there's typically enough room for everybody to get by and everybody to just enjoy the trail. So just be laid back, expect that there's going to be traffic coming, and just be polite. And as a general rule, remember, whoever is going uphill has the right of way. But, you know, for that person going uphill, if you just have to back up just a little bit and let someone else come by, use your trail manners. Everybody get along out here. This is just amazing. And let's just get out there and let's just have fun. Now, the clips in this video are a compilation of probably 10 to 12 trips I've made up this trail in the last couple of years. And again, this trail's just so much fun. It's mind-blowing. And I always try and find the rocks. I always look for as many little obstacles as I can find. And there's plenty of them on this trail. This whole first section, there's a lot of little rock obstacles. And here's a couple of them coming up.
Nice little obstacle coming. His Jeep is well more equipped than mine is. My turn.
Not only is it fun doing these cool trails, but it seems like every time I go out, I end up meeting new people. And on this particular day, I met up with 3 Marines who hadn't seen each other in years. I think they said it was like 8 or 10 years. And they were here for a reunion. Now, these guys served together, I believe it was either Iran or Iraq. And these guys were in the war together. And I gotta tell you, I was just amazed at the bond that these guys shared. As we drove together, as we hung together, the closeness, the brotherhood that these guys experienced between them can only happen when you experience an intensity in life that these guys experience together. And that's what it's like, whether you're Marine, Air Force, or whatever. There's just places in life where you bond with people, and that bond is a forever bond. And that's exactly who these guys were. Now, these guys led me to a little waterfall that I had no idea was there. Right where the trail splits to go either left to Engineer Pass or right to Poughkeepsie Gulch, right off the right, like maybe a 1-minute walk, is this cool waterfall. And this was our experience at the waterfall. Now, I knew this water was going to be cold, and there's no way I was going in. So, hats off to you two who were brave enough to do it. And I guess that's why, Kevin, you were a Marine and I was Air Force. On this day when I was with these guys, we didn't do Poughkeepsie Gulch. We ended up going to Engineer Pass. And I gotta say, it was a very powerful moment when we made it to the pass. These guys had brought their company flag, the flag of the unit that they served in when they were overseas. And they broke out that flag standing in front of the American flag. And I gotta tell you, these guys honored themselves, they honored their unit, and they honored our country. And all I can say is, hoorah. Now, that little waterfall was just to the right at the intersection where you could either go Engineer Pass or Poughkeepsie Gulch. And if you want to take the Poughkeepsie Gulch Trail, you have to turn right at that sign. And this is what it looks like right at the start of the trail. And shortly into this trail, you come across this fun little rock section that I had a blast with. In fact, I went through it 2 or 3 times when I was making this video, and it's just a fun little section. And shortly after the fun little rock section, you come to what I call the meadow section. And that's things really start to open up a little bit. The tree line kind of spreads and you come into this little valley, and it's just drop dead gorgeous. It's full of wildflowers. There's a stream running right through it. And then as you look up, you're starting to get some really good views of the mountains on both sides of the canyon. And there's this gorgeous little river running through here. There's this tiny little canyon. I always stop. I look at it if I can, as long as it's not too busy. And then I broke the drone out just to give you an idea of what this valley looks like. Because folks, it is just drop dead gorgeous. Like I said, it's packed with wildflowers. There's just so much to look at here. There's so much to see. The greens, the colors. It's just spectacular. There's just so much to this trail. There's no way I could pack everything into a 20-minute video. So I'm going to do this in 3 parts. There's the first section, the Mineral Creek section, then this meadow section, and what I call the shale section, where you're driving through a lot of shale rock, and then the section with the wall and all the rock obstacles are coming up. So there'll be more coming up in the next part. So stay tuned, and this is some of what you're going to be seeing in the next video. They're good-sized rocks. They're no joke. Nice.